Derby County are chasing a central defender, but who is that central defender? A new one who has popped on the radar this morning is Nat Phillips from Liverpool. Is he going to come to Derby? I'm not entirely sure. Are Derby linked? I also haven't seen anything concrete. But Nat Phillips is available to leave Liverpool this summer. He's obviously spent time at some different clubs across his time at Liverpool, and it will be really interesting to see where he does end up. I certainly think it will be a Championship club. Now, before we get into talking all about Nat Phillips, his career and everything along those lines, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn on that notification bell, hit the like button as well. Let me know your thoughts on this potential transfer down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next bit of this video. So, coming straight from Liverpool, Nat Phillips is hoping to secure a temporary move today. Now, we're going to look a little bit deeper into Nat Phillips in this video. He's obviously spent time in the Championship in the past. He spent time at the likes of Celtic and Stuttgart as well. So, it's a player who would come into Derby County and certainly add an extra element to that defensive area. I think he'd probably come in and initially be our best central defender. Obviously, he'd still has to prove himself in that position. He'd still have to earn his way into the squad. It's going to be very interesting to see how that is done by Nat Phillips or whoever the defender is that comes in. Obviously, we've had links to Liam Cooper as well, a player who we made a video on about an hour ago. Make sure you go and check that out. And if we do look a little bit deeper now into Nat Phillips, he's 27 years old, born in 1997. He's currently contracted to Liverpool up until the end of 2025. I'm not sure if there's any extensions, club or player side. So and as mentioned previously in the previous slide, he is expected to leave and is hoping to leave this summer for whether it be a temporary or permanent move. I think for Derby County it would obviously end up being a loan deal, certainly a season-long loan, I'd imagine, and then obviously whatever goes on with his contract is to be discussed later down the line. Now, if we look a little bit further into his career, he's made 125 total appearances, totaling 9,751 minutes for the likes of Liverpool, Stuttgart, Bournemouth, Cardiff and Celtic. He's scored 5 goals, collected 3 assists with 19 yellows and 0 red cards. Now, I think he could certainly add an extra dimension to our defence. I think given the fact that he's been at Liverpool as long as he has since he signed there, I think he could be a really, really good player. I think you obviously look at what Derby County don't have in that midfield. Am I saying that he's athletic and pacey and all that jazz? Maybe not to the extent that Paul Warne probably wants, but do I think he's probably better than Nelson and Bradley? I'd probably say yes. Based on Cashin, not entirely sure, because I'm not entirely sure where Cashin fits right now. Obviously a brilliant defender, but looking into his career at the moment with Erin Cashin, I think it's sort of like he sort of needs to step up to the Championship. He hasn't yet sort of hit that. Obviously he's got another opportunity tomorrow against Bristol City, so it will be interesting to see. Obviously if Nat Phillips can come in and do a job for Derby County, I think it could be an excellent signing for the club. I think it's certainly a player which Paul Warne has said he wants to sort of gazump players in the position, and I think bringing in someone like Nat Phillips from Liverpool certainly gazumps the options we have based on reputation, but does it gazump them based on ability? That's something which we'd have to wait and see. Now, obviously, we look into his career. He's made 29 appearances for Liverpool, scoring once and assisting one. Made 29 appearances for their under-23s with 3 goals and 1 assist. 22 appearances for Stuttgart, where he collected 1 assist. 18 appearances at both Bournemouth and Cardiff, scoring once for Cardiff. And 8 appearances for Celtic. And he's also made an appearance for Bolton's under-21s. Now, if we look into his positional chart, obviously mainly a centre-back, which is perfect for what Derby County need. We need a natural centre-back. We need those players that want to play that position, because obviously we have Nelson, we have Rooney, we have Niambi and Rooney and Forsyth, who can all fill in at centre-back, but they're not natural centre-backs, and that's obviously something which obviously needs to be addressed over the course of the season. And you think that this position and this signing does add depth to that defensive line. You think you bring in Nat Phillips, we then have the option for a back 3 and a back 4. You've also then got, obviously there's talk about Liam Cooper, which I spoke about in a video about an hour ago. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL Championship and League One content heading your way. We're sticking all across deadline day today. We've already got 3 videos out. This is the 4th of the day, so make sure you stay tuned for every single link and transfer that could happen for Derby County. If he comes in as well, you've then got that extra experience, especially at Championship level in the squad. And I think we certainly add another dimension to the squad if we can bring in those two. Now, will we bring in 2 defenders in this window? Maybe not today, but obviously with Liam Cooper being a free agent, he can still sign over the next few weeks, months, etc. anyway. So it's one of those that I think could be really interesting to keep an eye across. And if we bring in Cooper, Phillips, and a striker, I think it sort of will boost the thoughts of the fans. You've obviously got it at the minute where some Derby County fans are unsure on what's going off, and I know I'm not the only one in that boat. I know there's other people in that boat as well, and it's very interesting to see how this transfer window is going to end, because if we bring in a player like Nat Phillips, it sort of shows that Paul Warne does have a little bit of pull. He can bring in really good players, and he's trying to bring in the right players. And obviously a lot of managers talk about that. We need the right player. We need this. I've got my target, but he might not come. And I think sometimes you've got to maybe move away from targets and take a risk on something. And obviously, we're still waiting for a number 9 centre-back. We're still waiting for. Obviously, who knows when these are all going to come. You can obviously let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. But I personally think that Nat Phillips could be a really good signing. I think adding that extra prowess to the defensive line, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to be the greatest defender in the Championship, but I certainly think he could be better than what we have, and that's really what we need. Now, what type of deal would I expect Derby County to do? And I personally think it'll be a loan. I can't see Derby sort of trying to push for a permanent deal at this point in the transfer window. We'd obviously have to see what goes on with that, because obviously there's loads of positions that need filling for Derby County, especially the striker and centre-back role. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that happens. Obviously, Phillips has the ability and has played for Liverpool on numerous occasions. So I think that sort of shows what he's capable of and shows what he could bring to Derby County. Now, there is a lot to be discussed with a potential deal like this. And obviously, as we head into the Bristol City game tomorrow and the rest of the season, we need to make sure we have the best possible players available to us. And I certainly think that Nat Phillips does offer more than what the other 3 centre-backs have, in a sense of I don't necessarily think he's a better player than Cashin on the whole, but I do think, given the fact that he's been at Liverpool, he's had those European experiences, he's been to Germany, and I do think he has that capability of being a really good defender in this division, and that's certainly something which Derby County should be looking to utilise. Now, obviously, this deal is purely speculation at the moment. There's been no links for Derby County towards Nat Phillips. I know there's a bit of talk on the forum about a top 4 club loaning us a defender or loaning us a player, and obviously Nat Phillips fits into that target audience really. So made this video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and I'll catch you in my next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.